Thank you, Aiden. What a beautiful contemplative way to bring us into our gathering this morning, our Sunday morning celebration of love. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm just letting a few more people in to our Zoom. Good morning. We have people on YouTube Live. We have people on Zoom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We come together to celebrate this atmosphere, this energy that is all around us. We are seeped in it. It is through us, as us, and it is the light, the love that we are. And our theme for this month is renewal, renewing our mind. As we renew our mind, it's amazing how the world gets renewed and everything we see is from a different perspective. So welcome once again. I'm Reverend Helen Velo, and I am going to turn it over to our musical guest this morning, Aiden Farrell, all the way from Vancouver.
Woohoo! Thanks,
Woohoo.
Helen. Okay, I'm going to start this song off with an original called Good Morning. Here we go. Good morning, good morning, said it's a good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Said I woke up today with a smile on my face. I don't know why, but I'ma let it stay that way. Got out of bed with a song in my heart. I don't know how it's gonna end, but I know how it will start. So I turn up the tunes and I dance myself awake. Get in the mood, set my intentions for a perfect day. Throw back the blinds, leaving yesterday behind. And I open my heart and say, good morning, good morning. Said it's a good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So I put on my shoes and I fit the fits just right. Look at the view and the beauty blows my mind. I'm feeling good, universe, you treat me right. If you need something to celebrate, look, you made it through the night. And what more do you need than the breath within your lungs? Baby, just breathe. You know that you don't have to run. And when I stop to think about the blessing of the sun, well, if life's a game, I've already won. Good morning, good morning, said it's a good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to me. Good morning, good morning, said it's a good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, said it's a good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And good morning to me. Good morning to you. Oh, and good morning, everyone. I am going to move into our ritual, and ritual reaffirms the cultural, religious, and even our familial frameworks that we use to conceptualize and understand life, to endow a sense of meaning, and it's a way to honor life itself, this beautiful life, this light that is within each and every one of us. And of course, in New Thought, we cull and honor the common thread between religions and philosophies, ancient and new. So, to start, I am going to light my candle. And this really is about recognizing and honoring the light, the commonality, the one life, the one light, the one love that we all share. And I am going to start off with Hinduism that worships God as one reality, one consciousness, and behind the diversity of existence, there is a unity. Behind individual souls, there is the self. All beings unified in that one self. The ultimate reality is called Brahman, to grow, to expand. And then we also honor Judaism. And in Judaism, they say our finite world is an expression of all of God's oneness. And without a new act of creation, every instant, nothing would exist. The only true real existence is the infinite. And then in Buddhism, inside of you, you can find everything. There is only one thing you do not contain, a self. It is then a Zen master's way of saying, you are purely made of the stuff that isn't you, and everything that seems to be outside of you is actually a part of you. This is known as non-duality, as oneness. And then in Christianity, when Jesus, the man, talks about oneness, he's not speaking about an equivalency of being, such as that I am myself divine. Rather, what he has in mind is a mutual indwelling. I am in God, God is in you, you are in God. We are in each other. We are one. And in Islam, in the heart of Muslim, there is no room for arrogance or racism. And Allah tells us that the diversity of life and the various languages and colors of human beings is a sign of Allah's majesty and a lesson for us to learn about humility, equality, and the appreciation of our differences. The Baha'i faith emphasizes the unity, the humanity, transcending all divisions of race, nation, gender, caste, and social class, while celebrating the diversity. And then in our New Thought tradition with Ernest Holmes, he says there is a creative, intelligent energy that is the source of all that is, and that the universal presence of love is all that is. Everything in the universe is made up of the creative energy and is a unique, individualized expression of God, which means that's you, that's me, that's all of us. And so with that, I am going to invite our delightful practitioner of the day, Reverend Fred Ouimet, to lead us in affirmative prayer.
Well, good morning, Reverend Helen and everybody. Good morning, good morning. I love that song. It just brought me right up. So wonderful, wonderful creation and shift in energy, Aidan. Thank you. So if that didn't wake you up, well, hopefully all of this service this morning will wake something up inside of you that you can take into the world. And we'll start with this meditation. I invite you just to sit in this moment right here, right now, wherever you are. And recognize that everything that preceded this minute is non-existent. There's only ever right here, right now. And whether we call it God, love, joy, peace, whatever name we give it, recognize that it is the divine working through us. And as us means that we are connected to source, to light, to beauty. And that everything in the world that we can possibly conceive is available to us in any given moment, right here, right now. I recognize this for me. I recognize this for each and every person who hears this. The world is always evolving and expanding and always working for our highest good. Recognizing that this highest good is available to me allows me to access it from any point any time, any thought, any feeling. And as I look around and see this evolving world, I see a freshly fallen snow, for example, and each snowflake is unique. And yet it piles one on top of the other to create this scenery, this majestic, beautiful scenery. And we stand back and say, well, that's beautiful. How many snowflakes did it take to make that scene? I know that I am as connected and I am as much part of Source as is that beautiful scenery. And that in my mind, when I create that beautiful scenery, it goes forth. It goes into the world and changes the energy, the life. And not just the life that is in me, but the life in every single person that I meet. For when I see them as God, as I see myself as God, as Source, as divine, I too am also contributing to the highest good in mind where everything is started. For we know the law of cause and effect, as we think, so too we create. I'm grateful for knowing that. I'm grateful for the idea, this divine idea that everything is consciously created, that everything is beautiful, whole, and complete. I'm grateful for the teachings. I'm grateful for the presence of each and every individual who experiences that. And I understand the power of words. And as I release my word to the law, knowing that it is done, understanding that the law just responds, and so it is that we create what it is that we create. I release my word, I let it go, and together we say, and so it is.
Mhm. And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Fred. And I'm going to hand it over to Aiden to take us into our invocation song, which is just it's an invite, a beautiful invite into the truth of who you are. So take a breath in, and Aiden, take it away.
Sweeping through September, strolling through the trees, I can't help but smile, for I can't help but see all the autumn colors, the reds and every other, and they know how to let go. Jumping over puddles, dancing in the rain, I can't help but wonder why I resist the change. Why do I close my eyes when summer drifts to fall? Why do I look away when I could see it all? So for every day and for every night, for the sun and the rain, for the shadows and light, for the seasons, so many reasons to be thankful. Now that I see jumping over, walking over bridges, high above a stream, I can't help but listen to to the spaces in between. Beyond all the commotion, there lies a simple notion. I choose what I can see, and I become what I believe. So for all that I am, and for all I have grown, for all I have learned, and for all I don't know, for the seasons, so many reasons to be thankful. And I'm so thankful. How could I not be thankful? Now that I see it
Oh, I have goosebumps. I have tears. The notes that you hit, Aiden, were exquisite.
Thank
And
you.
thank you. I am so thankful for you. Wow. That was stunning.
Thank you, Helen.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting to cry today. Oh, Fred, I'm going to hand it over to you, Reverend Fred. Oh,
Good morning. Hi, Alan. Thank you.
how's, how's renewal going in your mind? Mine
Well,
just got renewed.
every moment is an opportunity to renew. We think about sometimes like renewal in terms of, New Year's Eve, our birthday. We think of it, in all these different ways that we think these grand gestures, and yet renewal is something that can take place in an instant. You know, um, we can get into the practice of renewal. For me, renewal this month, every morning that I wake up, I literally am saying, I know nothing. What can I know? And then I'm going, what is mine to do? And I've been doing this all month long. And let me tell you, this has been a month when you look at external forces where you could feel like shifts and things. And so we're all experiencing whatever is happening in the world, in the vibration of the world, things that we see. And I can tell you that at 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up and then seeing some things that were happening in the world, I may not have been Stellar Fred. I may not have had a really good Reverend Fred moment. Kind of like behind a slow driver in the third lane that you take it personally and you think, why is that person there? And suddenly you go, who is this? But I've learned to take that moment, that moment of recognition that something is happening externally that's causing me to have, not very reverently thoughts. And I've learned to say, change that now, because I recognize that, like, I think if I don't change this, the tire is going to fly off of my car, or my car is going to spin or hit something. Like, this is when you're in that rage or that non-centered self, that you really have to stop and take a breath. So I've had to do that a few times this month. And then step back and say, what? It's like, I don't even need to know where it's coming from. I just recognize, oh, this is here. Okay, you need to do something spiritually, to practice something that tells you something different, and get you back to a place that is a place of inner peace again, because that's what you get more of when you focus on that. And I have to tell you a funny story is that sometimes things outside of us place limits. So this is just kind of a funny thing. I bought a shelf for downstairs that has wheels and everything, and it's quite big. And I read the box.
Let me just clarify something, Fred. A shelf that has wheels.
Shelving. It's a shelving
Oh, a
unit.
unit. Okay.
It's almost like a baker's rack, right? And it's beautiful. And I was so excited to get it. I got it on sale. And so I got this rack and I read the box and it said, 2 people. It requires 2 people to assemble. And I was like, there is. And so all week I've been going, okay, Saturday I'm going to attempt it. Okay, should I call somebody? Nobody's been in my house. Am I going to do it? I want it together. I want it. And I decided to give it a shot yesterday. So I put it together. And then I thought, isn't it funny? Because I read that you need 2 people to assemble. I did it by myself. So I thought maybe what they could have put is you need 2 people to assemble, or one really determined, I'm not giving up, new thought person who says, you ain't going to put a limit on what I can do. And I did. I put it together. I was just a simple thing. But, I had to, it kept coming up a couple times during the week. How am I going to put that together? I want it together. How am I going to get it together, right? The box says. And then I started to put it together, and it wasn't easy, but I did it. And so I just thought, well, there you go. Take that. There's an example of renewal of the mind.
There you go. I want to know, Fred, did you get your table moved for tonight's bingo?
No, but I figured out how. You see, because I didn't get stuck in the, oh my gosh, how am I going to move? I've got this big table that I'm going to angle it in a particular way so that it looks like I'm at the beach as best I can do. Because we're doing the bingo tonight. And I thought, how am I going to do this? And then I thought, well, there's a carpet there. And I kept all the barriers to getting the table over there by myself. And then I went, wait a minute. I can roll that part of the carpet up. I can put towels under the 2 far legs so they're not dragging across the floor. And I can lift the other 2. So the thing is when you get out of the how, like when you get out of the how and the why, and just know that that table is going to be there, things come, right? And I read this thing. So by the way, as we're renewing our mind, as we're renewing things, literally this morning when I did the reading, because one of my practices is to do my daily reading in this now 11-year-old read 11-time book. And I read this thing and it said, and this is the beauty. See, we get to renew our mind with whatever we want because we have volition. I always think of that. We always have choice. We're always at choice with what we're putting in there. And if we're seeing the world in a way that we don't particularly like, it just means maybe there's something that we have put in there that may not be true. Are we seeing God in everyone really? Are we seeing them in us? Because as we do those things in our life, then that's what starts to show up more and more and more. So I read this and I thought, this is the beauty of renewal for me with Ernest Holmes. It says, our belief is that anything the mind thinks, it can unthink. If therefore, by the law of cause and effect, we have produced unpleasant conditions, we should be able, by the same law, to produce an entirely different effect. One of the greatest practices you can do is to renew your mind, is to sit back and say, where am I today? What am I feeling? Am I caught up in all the noise, all the vibration, all the stuff out there? Or am I creating from inside and then giving myself that opportunity to look at everything from the inside out? That's what renewal is to me. And I have been blessed to be able to experience that a lot, this month. And so, yeah, let it shine. Let it shine, man. Let it shine.
Let it shine. Let me tell you, Fred will be shining tonight.
Yes.
We did a test of beach bingo on Friday night. Fred's in his element calling bingo. Oh my gosh. The fun, the lightness, the laughter, just the sheer joy that we had. And isn't that renewing? All that lightness and laughter. So, Fred, would you like to lead us in our affirmation?
Absolutely. Let me just pull it up here. Sorry, I had it, but my phone went out. Here we go. So, from that place so when this is going to be the last time that we say this because we're moving into a new theme next month. So as we say this, I want you to really feel the weight and lightness at the same time of each word. Incorporate it. Just let it vibrate into your soul as you say this. I'll say it once and then repeat it with me. If you would, that would be great. So I want you to hear the words. My consciousness is always evolving toward truth, beauty, love, justice, and wholeness. And let's say that together and really embody it. My consciousness is always evolving towards truth, beauty, love, justice, and wholeness.
Beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Fred. And so it is. I love
Namaste.
what's going on with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm now going to pass it over to Aiden. You have a new song.
I do. So this song is called Too Alive, and I wrote it recently after a conversation with a dear friend who had been hurt by someone calling her too sensitive. And we were talking about it, and I resonate with this so much because I've been told this a lot, and I have always been super sensitive. And as I grow and learn, it's funny to me because I'm like, wow, my sensitivity is my creativity, and they're not separate. And kind of deprogramming, renewing the way we think about sensitivity, because I think it's a human quality and it's a privilege to be able to feel and have a human experience. And I think just renewing how we feel about being sensitive beings, kind of reclaiming it in a world that may have told us otherwise. So the song's called Too Alive. You're way too sensitive. That's what they love to remind me. You feel a bit too much. Guess I got too much inside of me. You love so deeply that you transcend your mind, and you shine a light in all the places that I try to hide. You know, 'cause you're too connected to who you are. You're so undesensitized. You're too good at living your truth in a world that's dying to lie. You're too alive. Oh. You cry too easily. Are you going insane? You don't hide your vulnerability. No, you're too in touch with your pain. But what's wrong with you? Why can't you just pretend you're okay? No, but you're too connected to who you are. You're so undesensitized. You're too good at living your truth in a world
Oh, Aiden, that's exquisite, and you know, it's such a perfect segue into what I'm talking about in terms of reframing the story, because we all get told we're too something, right? Too loud, too quiet, too dramatic, too alive, too sensitive, whatever that is. And you know, today it's about taking that story and using our mind to reframe it, to create a different state of consciousness about ourselves, which then give us a different perception about ourselves, but also about the world around us. And we kind of all like a good story. You know, good story has, you know, well-developed characters. They're memorable. We may have some very memorable characters in our life and maybe some that we would like to forget about. But there's often drama and intrigue. There's the protagonist, the antagonist, the victim, the heroine. We all have that going on in our own lives. I want to talk about a story that Jean Houston tells, and she tells of an encounter with Maisie, who is an original woman in Central Australia. And she says, "There we were, out in the dry, dusty bush, where she'd been showing me how to find water in weeds and things to eat by noticing slight indentations in the sand where we could dig up delicious tubers. She knew how to live in an impossible environment that looked like the desert of Mars. Very much impressed, I asked her the ultimate question. Maisie, how do humans differ from animals?" And she replied with some astonishment at my naivete and said, "Why, mate, we are the ones who can tell stories about all the others. We are the ones who can tell stories about ourselves. We are storied beings through and through. And it is story that juices us up and energizes our comings and goings, our connection with people. It is stories that give our life meaning. Stories give our life purpose. And stories can also give us the will to keep going through adversity. So, my question to you, though, is what story is playing over and over in your mind that is constricting you and limiting you from experiencing the beauty of life itself? What story is preventing you from understanding or embodying and really knowing and living from the understanding that you are pure light, pure love, and that we live in a universe that is pure light, pure love, pure potentiality? As Charles Fillmore said, and for those of you who don't know who Charles Fillmore is, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were the founders of the Unity Church. And Charles Fillmore says, you do have the right to change your mind. And you do have the right to change your story. So I'm going to invite you to consider the story of the cosmic egg. And the cosmic egg is a core symbol of the divine feminine creative force. And we talk about this divine feminine creative force as being the law. We talk about spirit, law, effect. So its spiritual motif is found in the creation myths of so many cultures and civilizations. It represents birth, a new beginning, and an expansion of life. So imagine that there are 3 domes in the cosmic egg, kind of like those Russian dolls, where you take one out and oh, there's another one, and lift the lid off and oh, there's another one. So we've got 3 of those going on. And in the very core of the egg is the story of me. Not just me personally, although I'd like it to be about me, but it's not. It's about you too. Me as in you, and your story, and me as in my story. And when we get stuck in the story of me, which describes my private life and all those things that make me special and make me feel superior to others, or perhaps inferior, right, wrong, all depending on how I see it, this story of me can prevent me from connecting with outer domains because I'm stuck in my story of me. And some people do live their whole lives stuck in the story of me. And often these very self-focused people, and hey, we've all been there, but they can be easily offended and fearful and therefore posturing and defended and pretentious. And when this mythic self remains unused, latent, not tapped into, because we all contain the seeds of pure potentiality. But when we don't tap into that because we're so insular, then we become really small. We become fragile. And this ends up creating more drama, more trauma, and victimness that we kind of hope is going to put us on a larger stage. But really, intrinsically, I'm unhappy. And I'm still stuck in my initial patterned way of seeing myself in the world. Because there's no expansion, there's no universal foundation. It's really like building our life on a house of cards. And it takes one person to come and flick a card and we're shattered. And so therefore we always remain insecure and afraid and scrambling for significance. So think of the tiniest of the Russian doll. That's the cosmic egg of me. But when we are able to move into another larger size, beyond the story of me, it feels like we've gained freedom and liberation, and we're connected to our story. So not just my story, it now becomes our story. And we develop a group consciousness. And as you know, what we teach is there are what we call collective consciousness, race consciousness happening all the time. And it's this sense of belonging with others, being able to really take on other people's stories, ideas, beliefs without really thinking for ourselves. And there's some wonderful things about our consciousness because that's how we also create community. We create our center from an our consciousness. And this brings about a kind of security and a social connection, which is so necessary and right now so lacking for us. And it does take us out of the self-centered story of me. The problem with this, though, is that if we make group consciousness the center of our world, we end up with the cultural and identity wars that we have going on right now. And that still is a separation, and it is a consciousness of duality. And the difficulty with that is then, groups are held in righteousness. I'm right, you're wrong. And nobody has those intimate, courageous conversations where they're really willing to hear the other side. And oh my gosh, we need to be able to sit across from the people we most find difficult, or they disagree with us, or they have a different point of view, and listen to their side. That's how we're going to bring into the world more wholeness and more unity and more understanding of who each person is. So our story is the training ground for belonging. It is the training ground for trusting and loving and attachment, but it's just, we can't get stuck there either and spend our lives defending our boundaries and the glory of our group. And, you know, this is how war happens. This is how groups are scapegoated. And it is, it's, you know, a sense that we're better than another group. So we've got the me story, we've got the our story, and then there's the story. The story. And this is where we are in connection with the great patterns of the universe that are always true. And the story is what saves us from the me and the we stories, or the our story. Because our story is the understanding, or the story is the understanding that we are connected to something that is expansive, it's inexhaustible, and this is when we make a quantum leap into the understanding and embodiment that the entire universe lives in me, and I live in the universe. There's this radical change in how we perceive the world and our understanding of reality, and a radical understanding of how the universe actually works. And this is what we teach, is that there is this part of us that is the universe. We're not, as Rumi says, and it now says on our front page of our website, we are not just a drop in the ocean. We are the entire ocean in the drop. And once we know that the physical world around us and all of creation is the story, it becomes home. The universe becomes our home. And we are safe. We are enchanted with life. And we offer grace to anyone that we see, because we recognize that the universe also lives in them. And what I love is the idea of living enchanted with the world. And it was kind of funny because yesterday in the 30-day challenge, it was all about intentionally having fun and having a big belly laugh. And so I think I kind of scared people because at the end I just was letting out these belly laughs. And then Derek and Mahala were looking at me going, "What are you doing?" But there is this place of feeling enchanted with the entire world, that it's here for me to manifest whatever I desire. And once you have this shift inside of you, and you start to regard the ways you can work in partnership with the universe instead of fighting it all the time, then, we make the invisible visible. We are the infinite creative source and substance of all of the magic in our life. And we have new ideas that come forth, and it's like what Fred said earlier about, I know nothing. Now what can I know? With an excitement and an anticipation that brilliance is going to land through you as you. And so what may have seemed like coincidence or happenstance which we actually don't buy into in New Thought, or something is absolutely extraordinary, it's like, oh, no, of course. Of course I am manifesting all of this in my life because I am living the story. And the story is creating all this magnificence. I'm part of the universe, and there's infinite potentiality. So we always have a choice. We can get bitter about our story, or we can get a whole lot better by changing the story and renewing our minds and coming into this understanding that the magic of the universe isn't out there. It is right in here. It lives right in our heart space. It's all of us. There's an ancient Vedic Sanskrit saying that says, humans are physical spiritual beings in a meaningful and purposeful universe of unlimited cosmic consciousness. I'm going to say that again. Humans are physical spiritual beings in a meaningful and purposeful universe of unlimited cosmic consciousness. So I'm going to invite you right now to put your hands on your heart. I'm going to do what I would normally do if you were all in the room. And I'm just like, I'm feeling you. Put your hands on your heart and just take a moment and close your eyes and breathe in. Breathe in. And I want you to breathe in and imagine that there is this brilliant diamond essence of light that is shining so brightly inside of you. And with every breath you take, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And it is emanating through you, as you. And you are shining. You are glittering. You are expanding with light. And what if you started your day with that practice? Starting with the light within you and let it get brighter and brighter and brighter, and it shimmers and it glitters and it shines so brightly through you as you. And you are this beacon of light. And you feel all the light, all the shimmering essence of the cosmos all around you. And imagine that you can just reach out, grab onto an idea, bring it down into your heart space. And you can actualize and you can manifest whatever it is that you desire. Just breathe in again. Yes, I think it's time to live the story. And you can open your eyes. Yeah, if they're not already opened. I can't see you, so I'll just give you that direction just in case. But just imagine that we got out of the me story. We got out of the our story, and we went into the story. The story of understanding we are complex, conscious fields of energy that's part of all of nature, that's part of a cosmic consciousness that is who we are. And we're all one. We're all connected. Albert Einstein once talked about the illusion that is created by the belief in separation. He described it as a prison that restricts our awareness of the connection to the whole. He says, a human being is part of the whole, called by us, universe, a part limited in time and space. Yet we experience ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of our consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting our personal desires. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by expanding our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. The whole of nature in its beauty. So remember, you have the capacity to change your story from the me, which probably contains a lot of characters that you might like to forget. Because often when we're in the me story, we do a lot of really, I'm just thinking of my own story, so I'll just confess, I've done a lot of really dumb things and had some really interesting characters that really weren't supporting my highest and best good when I was in the me story. And we can release the we story so that we're still not creating this separation of my we is better than your we, to the story of universal consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and yes, the understanding that I am the universe and the universe is in me and I'm in the universe and vice versa. And I think I just kind of lost, like, I'm me, I'm it, it's me, and we are all it together, and we are all one. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Many, many blessings. Namaste. I am going to share my screen for announcements. I just got to move my screen up here a little bit. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. So I'm going to start by reviewing our mission statement, which is supporting people in exploring their spiritual intelligence using new thought principles and philosophy to transform their lives. And we do this through classes, meditation, prayer, music, community events, and our Sunday celebration of love. Our vision statement is love only, forgive everything, and remember who I am. And if you would join me in our giving affirmation, divine love flows through me. It blesses and multiplies all that I have, all I give, and all I receive. I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow of abundance. And so it is. And all the information is available on our website. It's now available on the front page at the bottom for doing your donations, your tithe. And you can also send an e-transfer to admin@welcomeomtoronto.com. And yes, our tithe this month goes to the Red Door Family Shelter, which also then know that also 10% of the proceeds of our beach bingo tonight are also going to the Red Door Family Shelter. Spirit Breath classes are at 8 a.m. and noon, Monday through Friday. They are still free, so come on and join in. Wonderful, wonderful way to feel that connection of the presence of the universe in you and you connected to the universe. And our beach bingo tonight. Oh my gosh. Okay, like I said earlier, Friday night, Michelle, Linda, Fred, and I, we tested the game, just, how it all works, how we're going to work out all the details, played the great music, and oh, so much fun. I think we all laughed hysterically that our bellies did hurt. So you can get cards up until 5 p.m. because then it's going to take me a couple of hours to get all the links out to everybody, including the Zoom link. So head over to the website and purchase your bingo cards for as little as $25. Now, also, if you don't want to use a credit card, send an e-transfer. Send me a note saying you're paying by e-transfer. No problem. All good. Let me know how many cards you're buying. All done. It works. And don't forget to get dressed up in your beach clothes. Bathing suits are optional. Okay, and I do want to say thank you, Aiden. Oh my God, your music today was just exquisite. Thank you. Keep writing those songs. You're such a brilliant songwriter. I love it. And thank you, Reverend Fred. I just adore you, and I look forward to hanging out with you tonight. I also want to thank Margaret Ann for her beautiful, beautiful meditation this morning. It's so nice to have all the practitioners back doing meditations. And your voice is lovely, Margaret Ann. Thank you so much. And thank you, Welcome Home community. Thank you for just being who you are and staying in touch and contributing and being a part of this community and moving from the we into the story, from the we story into the story. And I look forward to seeing you if you're joining us tonight. Thank you so much. And if not, I will see you next week. Much love and many blessings. And Aiden, what are you taking us out with?
I'm going to do Counting All My Blessings to take us out.
Ah, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, here we go. I'm counting all my blessings, and they're everywhere I go. Counting all my blessings, through the rain and through the snow. I'm counting all my blessings, and they're gonna take me home. I'm counting all my blessings, and they're everywhere I go. I'm counting all my blessings, count 'em every single
much, Aiden. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Namaste.